Hey guys, Matt here. So before I get into the topic at hand, now this will be a short video, but before I get into it, I just want to make something perfectly clear in case this is the first time you visited my channel. I'm an Intel shareholder, and I have been owning shares since 2020. Intel released earnings, which were not very good. Spoiler alert. I think we all know that by now. And they talked about their weakness being blamed partly on economic activity, but also their own execution issues. Now, I'm saying that because AMD reported earnings last night, and ignore the fact that the stock dropped. I want to show you this. AMD reported earnings, and they beat on EPS, and they beat on revenue. They actually got a better revenue. They actually got better EPS than Intel. I mean, we got Intel missing on both by a mile. And AMD and Intel are pretty much in the same industry. The only real difference is that AMD relies on TSM to make their chips, and Intel mostly makes their own stuff, although they are trying to change that. You got Intel massively down in revenue, massively down in gross margin, massively down in operating margin. Meanwhile, we got AMD, same quarter, up 70% year over year in revenue, up 65% gross profit. Now, their operating income is down, but that's for what I think is a good reason. I mean, you can attribute that to a one-off expense and the fact that they are ramping up research and development. So, like I said, these are good reasons. So, AMD knocked it out of the park. Now, they reduced their guidance. They reduced their guidance to 6.5 to 6.9 billion, where the street had projected 6.8 billion. So that's not even really a big hit. So what I'm trying to say is AMD knocked us out of the park. And so that begs the question, like, how much of this is Intel's own execution issues? Well, I would just by looking at this, I would say quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, Qualcomm did really well. Nvidia did well. We have to wait and see what Nvidia does, but Qualcomm did pretty well. From someone who owns Intel, like, that was not looking good. Now, having said all that, I am willing to give this a pass for now. As I said in my last Intel video, I'm giving this about 2 more quarters. If I see the next quarter be as bad as this one, I might consider making some changes. Or if we get the next 2 quarters being misses, I might consider making some changes. But I mean, before that, this is the first recent quarter in which Intel has dropped the ball. The last time it did that was in Q3 of 2020, which was a very, very bad time for the company indeed. So far, it's been doing pretty well. So I'm willing to pass this off as a one-off because, I mean, long-term, Intel's got some pretty big things going on as far as the fabs being built, and it attempts to become trying to compete with TSM in the whole chip making section, but we'll see how that goes. Now, I did buy some Intel today, $300 worth, just to get my cost basis over $5,000. But after that, I think I'm gonna let it sit for a while and see where things go from there. But anyways, take care, have a great day, and eat your vegetables.